Hi, this is Deborah Franke from the Alumni Relations Office at LaSalle University, and I'm going to show you in this video how to do different kinds of searches on LinkedIn. Specifically, we're going to look at how to search for people, how to search for LinkedIn groups, how to search for companies and what you can learn from the company page, how to find LaSalle alumni at a particular company, how to use the Alumni tab on the LaSalle University page, and also how to use the people search function to look for LaSalle alumni. Okay, let's start with a people search. Now, if the person you're searching for has a fairly uncommon name, it's not too hard to find them on LinkedIn. You're going to put their name here in the search box, okay? If you don't see the person you're looking for come up down here, just hit your enter key. And you may want to click people here to narrow your results down to just people. And we can see there's only 11 results on all of LinkedIn. And in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, not all of them actually have that name, okay? Paula might be in someone's profile, but not necessarily part of their name. And so, for instance, I know that the Paula I'm looking for is in the Philadelphia area, so boom, there she is, very easy. But what if I'm searching for Jim Smith? Okay, well, on LinkedIn, there are close to 40,000 Jim Smiths. So how are you going to find the one you're looking for? Well, you're going to use these filters across the top. So for instance, the location filter, or if you know what company the person works at, you can click all filters. And again, that location filter will come up as well as the current company, but some other ones come up. So maybe you know where they previously worked, or you think you know what industry they might be in. Perhaps you know what school they're a graduate of, okay? Or you're pretty sure you know their job title or a keyword from their job title. So in this case, I know that Jim Smith is in the Philadelphia area. I met him at a networking event in the Philadelphia area. So I can go to location, start typing Philadelphia, and then click Philadelphia from the menu up here on the right. I'm going to click apply. And now I'm down to 575 Jim Smith. Well, that's still a pretty big number to sort through. So again, in this case, I might know, I can click on all filters again. And if I know the company, oh, yes, AstraZeneca, that's right. Okay, I could click here and then apply. But Jim Smith's an alum of LaSalle. So I can come here to schools and LaSalle is showing up. So I just click it. If it didn't show up, I would start typing LaSalle with a space between La and Sal, and then select it from the drop-down. Now here's something you need to know. LinkedIn has an internal list of colleges and universities, and LaSalle University is in there as LaSalle University, and also in there as LaSalle University School of Business Administration. Why is that? It has to do with the federal government database LinkedIn when it set up its internal list of colleges and universities. You'll see this with other schools as well. So there'll be Temple University, but there'll also be Temple University and the medical school, Temple University and other schools that are in Temple. Okay, so if I click apply now, right, I'm going to find all the Jim Smiths, that's up here, in the Philadelphia area who have either LaSalle University or LaSalle University School of Business Administration in their profile. And when I click there, okay, I just end up with 10 results. Now it's not going to be very hard to look through those 10 and find in fact, it's just 8 results. Find the 8, okay? Either by the picture, okay, or by what I see in the headline here, okay? This Jim Smith has 2 profiles I see. Yes, this is the one that I met at that networking event. Here he is, okay? And now I found him. So that's how to do a people search. In the first webinar of this series, The Power of LinkedIn, I talk in that about LinkedIn groups And I did talk about different ways of finding LinkedIn groups. And I mentioned one of them is to use the search box here. So let's say that you are a public health professional. And so you want to look for LinkedIn groups in the public health field, okay? So you're going to type public health in the search box. You'll notice that I put it in quotes. The quote marks force LinkedIn to look for that exact phrase, okay? If I didn't have it in quotes, the word public might be one place, the word health might be somewhere else, but putting it in quotes forces it to look for that phrase. Now, 1,763,000 results. Well, this is people with that phrase, jobs with that phrase, content that's been posted. If I click more, I just want groups, LinkedIn groups that have that phrase. So I click groups, and now I have 2,205. Well, it sounds like a lot, but the reality is the largest ones are going to show up first. And initially, it's going to be ones that have that phrase in the title of the group. As you move down the list, it's going to have ones that have that phrase in the description of the group. So pretty quickly here, I could scroll through, okay, and pick out some groups that I might want to learn more about. How do I do that? I click on the title, and again, we covered all this in the first webinar. So that's how to use the search box to search for groups. All right, company search. You're getting the idea here. I'm going to put in the company name, okay, hit my enter key, and then here on more, I'm going to select companies. And now I'm just seeing companies that have that word, okay? Now I actually have two that look exactly the same, Verizon and Verizon Business. I'm going to guess that by clicking on this one, I will pick up all the affiliated or subsidiary companies. So let's try that. So this is going to take us to a company page. On LinkedIn, people have profiles, companies have profiles, colleges and universities have profiles. Those are the three types of profiles. So this is a company profile or company page on LinkedIn, okay? Some basic information, how many employees here? 150,762 employees of Verizon who currently work there are on LinkedIn. Is that everybody who works there? No, because not everyone who works there is on LinkedIn, right? But it's 150,762 more than we had a few seconds ago. Okay. The tabs here, the home tab is what we're looking at now. And down the middle of the page is a news feed. And so someone at Verizon, probably in their marketing, public relations, communications group, is in charge of social media. They may have one person in charge of LinkedIn. They're big enough, okay? And that person gets to decide what things show up on the news feed. So that's going to vary quite a bit from company to company, okay? So here are some Halloween pictures. We're dating when I did this video here, okay? Again, it looks like a lot of it is things that Verizon's employees are doing out in the community, okay? Here, Domestic Awareness Month, so it is Cybersecurity Month, okay? Top Jobs Tuesday. So some companies will put job openings. If the company is mentioned in a positive way in an article somewhere, they might post a link to that. Maybe there's a company blog and they're going to post links to that. Press releases. So again, what shows up in that feed is going to vary from company to company. If you click follow, by clicking this box here, that news feed down the middle will show up on your home page. Just keep in mind, so does a lot of other stuff, okay? So also on your home page is going to be what your first level connections have posted, what's happening in your groups, advertisements LinkedIn's pushing out to you, et cetera, et cetera. So if there are some companies you're really, really interested in, you just may want to make it a habit to once a week come to those 5 companies, come to their page on LinkedIn, scroll through the news feed, see if there's any articles that look interesting that when you do your networking or have a job interview, you can speak intelligently about some of the current events at that company. The About tab here just some basic information about the company, a link to the website where their headquarters is, locations, things like that. If they have an official LinkedIn group associated with it, that'll be listed over on the right. We don't see that in this case. We do see some affiliated pages, okay? Life that's up to the company if they want to include that. And I think that is learning about the organization, what it's like to work there. If they post jobs on LinkedIn, the jobs tab, okay, will provide you the ability to see what kind of jobs and do a search there. The tab on the left here that we're particularly interested in is this people tab. So as I said, right here it tells us there's 150,762 employees on LinkedIn. Here's the same number right here, and we have 6 columns of data. I'm going to click Show More. The first column tells us where they live. So of those 150,000, 23,000 are in Greater New York City area. Second column tells us where they studied. So LinkedIn is looking at the college or university in the education section of all 150,762 profiles. I'm going to click Next. What they do, LinkedIn is analyzing the current job title. If this word or phrase shows up in the job title, we're going to put that under engineering. If this word or phrase shows up, we're going to put it under arts and design. So there is an algorithm software that LinkedIn is using to decide which category, which bucket to count that particular profile. Same thing with what they study. LinkedIn is analyzing the major or majors in the education section and putting it into various buckets. Fifth column of data, what they're skilled at. LinkedIn is pulling that from the skills and endorsements section of the profile. And then how you're connected. Again, in the first webinar, we talked about what first, second, and third, what that means, okay? The really cool thing about these 6 columns of data is you can click on any of these bars and then use that as a filter. So for instance, if I'm only interested in the people who studied marketing, I could click here. And now I'm going to see results for only the 3,588 who studied marketing. I get to see where do they live, okay? What school did they study at? What are they doing? What skills do they have? How am I connected to them? So perhaps I'm interested in the ones who studied marketing and are currently doing marketing, okay? And so now I've narrowed it down. People who studied marketing, who are currently doing marketing, 582 employees. At any point, you can scroll down here and you see these little mini profiles. So you can begin to, if you want to, scroll down. You're probably not going to scroll through 500 of them, but you can scroll through the first however many you want and click on any of them. It'll take you to the full profile. Use your browser back arrow to go back to your search results. Now, another great tool in this part here is this search box. So perhaps I'm particularly interested in people who studied marketing, are doing marketing, and they have the phrase social media in their profile. So I can use this search box. I put a word or phrase in there. I hit my enter key, and 330 people who studied marketing, who are doing marketing, have the phrase social media somewhere in their profile. Now, it's not telling me where it is. Okay, is it in the about section, in the experience section, in the skills section? All right, and maybe I'm only interested in Philadelphia. Are there any in Philadelphia? I don't see Philadelphia showing up here. Why is that? Well, because it's 5 or less. So let's see if there's any in Philadelphia. So I'm just going to type in Philadelphia in my search box. And let's see. I think I have to get rid of this one for a moment. So here we go, Philadelphia. So there's 16 in Philadelphia. Okay. So social media was too limiting. There we go. So there's 16 who studied marketing, who are doing marketing, and they're in the greater Philadelphia area. And then I can scroll down here and see those 16. Okay. All right. I'm going to clear out all my filters. And so that takes me back to the original 150,762. And now I'm going to look for LaSalle alumni. I don't see LaSalle showing up here. Why not? Well, there probably are LaSalle alumni who work at Verizon. In fact, I know that there are. But it's 237 or less. So to get those to appear, I'm going to put LaSalle up here with a space between La and Sal and put it in quotes. And now LaSalle University is showing up. Remember I told you about the two that were in there twice. So I want to select LaSalle University and select LaSalle University School of Business. And so at Verizon, we have 60 employees who have LaSalle University or LaSalle University School of Business in their profile. And that's not too many. You could probably come down here and just see the different roles that people have. But again, if you want to narrow it down by what they do, what they studied, or a particular skill they have, okay, you're only interested in the ones that have a skill in wireless technology. You could click that. Or you only want to see who your second levels or your first levels are. You can click any of those as a filter. So that's how to do a company search, and then use these 6 columns plus the search box here. Now, another way to search employees in a company is to click here. And this basically lets you access those same people filters we already looked at before. And a lot of these are the same as what we just looked at. So here I could, location, okay? But there's some other ones. So maybe I'm only interested in people who now work at Verizon, but previously worked at Yahoo, for instance, okay, or some other company. Let's see, the other thing that I particularly like on this page is this box here. So I can put a word or phrase for a job title. So who has the word or phrase financial? Who works at Verizon? And there's 1,553 results. Okay, so you can see that word financial shows up in the job title. So I really like that job title filter. If you see, like at Verizon, a job opening that interests you, you can put a word or phrase from that job title into that search box on this page here. Remember, if it's a phrase, put it, well, you probably don't need to put it in quotes if it's in the title. But you can put that here and see who else has that, because who has that position at that company and what their background is. Okay, and that'll give you some idea of kind of who your competition might be, or what things you need to emphasize, or whether applying for this job makes sense based on where you are in your career. Let's see if I wanted to point anything else out on this page. You could narrow it down by industry. Keep in mind, though, that people have to choose an industry when they first set up their LinkedIn profile. If they change jobs, change companies, change industries, change careers, they may not think to go back and change their industry. So, and in some cases, if you're an accountant who works at Merck, are you in the accounting industry? Are you in the pharmaceutical industry? So you can use that industry filter sometimes, but just keep some of those things in mind. Okay, so that's doing a company search starting here, okay? We'll see here, other thing you'll notice, by starting at the Verizon page, we picked up Verizon and Verizon Media. If we want to see if there's other Verizons, I can just type Verizon in here, okay? And so, for instance, I could add Verizon Business. And maybe as a result of that, I might get more results. So particularly large companies, are there other, here's Verizon Connect. Verizon Media. So I might want to go and add all those in to see if that changes my search results. Okay, so far we've talked about searching for people, for LinkedIn groups, searching for companies, how to find LaSalle alumni at a particular company. Now we're going to, I'm going to show you how to search for alumni starting with the LaSalle University page. So to do that, you're going to type in LaSalle University in the search box, and you're going to look for LaSalle University School with our chevron symbol here. If you don't see it showing up, just type in LaSalle University, again with a space there, hit your enter key, and then you don't want people, you want schools, and here it is. So this looks a lot like a company page, very similar to a company page, except over here, instead of people, okay, we see alumni. So in this case, we are not interested in who works there, right? The employees, we're interested in the alumni of the school. You can do this university search for any school, not just a school that you attended. So if you're curious what alumni of another school are doing in your field, you could do this exact same thing, come to that school's page and click the alumni tab. Now, just like on the company page, we end up with 6 columns of data. 5 of those are exactly the same. Where they live is the same. But here, we're not interested in where they went to school because they all went to LaSalle. Here, it's going to tell us where they work, what company they're currently at. What they do, again, LinkedIn is analyzing the job title. What they studied, LinkedIn is analyzing the degree. What they're skilled at, LinkedIn's pulling that from the skills and endorsement section, and how you're connected. You can use the search box up here in exactly the same way. So for instance, I might be interested in people who have pivot tables, okay, somewhere in their profile. Oh, why not? Okay. And we have 12 alumni with that. Now, it'd be interesting to see if I type in pivot tables, plural. I'm going to get rid of that one and put the plural in. Do I get a different? I get 123. So that tells me I need to use pivot tables, the plural. Okay. So 123 people have that phrase somewhere in their profile. Just like on the company, I can narrow it by location. In this case, oh, well, who's the person working at Deloitte, okay, who has pivot tables? I can click on that and I can see the one person there. If I want to get rid of a filter, I just click on that X to get rid of it. So I use this a lot to search for alumni who have particular expertise, who are in the Philadelphia area, and because we're looking for an alum who can meet with a student or offer a job shadow or come speak on a panel on a particular topic. So I use the features of this university page. Now, we can also search for alumni using those people filters, okay? So how did I get here? I clicked on this box, didn't put anything in it, and just clicked on people. And now I'm going to click on all filters. Okay, so I want LaSalle alumni, and I want the other one also, okay, school business. Click apply. So I should get approximately the same number, 51,000. Why it's not the exact same number? Well, because I picked both LaSalles, that's why. Okay, let's say I'm thinking about moving to Chicago. Or I live in Chicago and I just want to see alumni in Chicago. So I'm going to select that and click apply. Now I'm showing 278. And I can see the top 5 companies that they currently work for, the top 5 that they previously worked for, the top 5 industries. But I could ask, gee, do any of the alumni in Chicago work at University of Chicago. Okay. And so I could select that, University of Chicago, and we have one person, okay, who is a LaSalle alumna. We'll scroll down to confirm that. And she's currently working at the University of Chicago. So you can do all kinds of different searches using this people search function also, and looking for alumni. Again, keyword in the job title, so on and so forth. So I've tried to show you some searches you can do on LinkedIn. Now it's your turn to try all those and see how that goes for you.